Welcome back to Midco Sports Magazine. Well, if you're a male, you've probably thought at some point, I'm gonna get in the gym, I'm gonna lift weights, I'm gonna eat right, and I'm gonna get into bodybuilding. And then like most of us, you never did it. But our first story is on a young man who has that drive and that dedication and that discipline, and he has become one of the most promising young bodybuilders in the country. Jolene Letcher has his story.
When it comes to the weight of the past, most push against it, get held down by it, find it unscalable. But Austin Kjergaard, he lives with it.
Always yell at myself, trained to be a champion, and it's a reminder of everything that I had went through, again, being average, because you're not an average if you're a champion.
Average cannot and does not do this.
Trying to be a champion. Right now I'm at 5 days a week. Hour, sometimes maybe a little longer than an hour, hour and a half.
In each hand, the 24-year-old 5'8" Sioux Falls bodybuilder raises the equivalent of a small adult. More quiet church mouse than gym rat, and sure, moving pounds with muscle, but the steel he grips and makes grace through the air, that takes a grit to lift and an iron will. That's
why the word champion exists. It's the best. So I tell myself, train to be a champion, meaning make the best of the opportunities I can make today. You know, be the best that I can be today, tomorrow, the next day, always try to be the best. The best,
but without bravado. With humble pride, you can eventually prod him to go through his wins.
In 2007, I won the Grizzly Canyon Championships, the Mr. Southwest Natural. Got runner-up in the Heartland Natural Classic in the teen division. Won the North Star teen division, runner-up in the open men's lightweight at 19. At 20, I won the Las Vegas novice lightweight division.
Each competition a natural show, testing not just determination and detail for diet and exercise, but also for steroids or banned supplements. And just last year, Austin became the first Mr. Sioux Empire Natural, reaching the professional ranks at just 23. But he outworks more than he works out. In the solitude of a Sunday morning, cardio sprints, pushing his 2008 Honda Civic, all 2,886 pounds up an incline. Well, at that weight, actually call it a hill, all for a half hour, and fueled by an inner drive and a lot of food.
I'm getting close to, I think, 4,200 calories, 4,300 calories, somewhere around there right now. And again, I'll probably have to bump up soon.
To be this big means to eat this big.
And I still am having a hard time moving the scale upwards, so. My waist has stayed the same. It's went up a little bit. I think my waist has went up about 1/4 of an inch or maybe a 1/2 inch since guest posing at the Mr. Sioux Empire Natural.
Eating 5 to 6 times a day because it's mass that matters, and muscle over matter and over the mind.
I was doing the math. I think since I've been out of high school, I've put on maybe 30 pounds at best, and that's only 5 pounds a year. So people are like, why do you do all that work for only 5 pounds? Well, it's chasing something.
And it's fighting something. The battle against being average.
I don't like that word. Average, it really makes me mad. It's a word I heard a lot in my life. Oh, you know, yeah, he's just kind of average. Grades are average. He's average at this, he's average at that.
On his brute, broad shoulders, he does carry a chip from early school struggles.
They said I could have upwards to 100 small seizures a day. So the reason I wasn't able to comprehend things is because I couldn't hear some things. You know, you'd hear like maybe every other word in a sentence.
A teacher once even telling him he would only be average.
I always had to work harder than other kids, which what frustrated me about that is working harder than other kids where they were just kind of sloughing off and they would get average grades, and I'm working hard to get average grades. It always kind of made me mad.
That anger amped him up to pump up. He found an outlet in working out, finishing high school, getting his degree, and then the spotlight.
went from a kid that didn't like to be called average, now he's got to be judged, you know, in small posing trunks, you know, so it's like you go your whole life, you don't like being judged, but now you got to be judged for a sport.
His big smile even brighter than usual with his dark stage tan and what he calls his mankini, showing his fitness prowess as his finesse in posing lasts just 90 seconds in front of the audience to win the 2012 Mr. Sioux Empire Natural, and then being invited back in 2013 as the guest poser.
I think people forget you work so hard, 3, 4, 5 months, some people even 6 months to get ready for a show.
And as he trains for the professional stage, Austin knows there's another stage to come in his life.
But right now I'd like to focus on trying to kind of help others. I was talking to a friend the other day and we were kind of chuckling. I think I get more enjoyment out of helping people than I do competing now, which is a weird transition.
Not so weird when you look back and see the man who lifted past his past is the competitor who created his own competition.
Whether my hand gets raised for first place or second place, it doesn't matter. I'm going to be a champion that day because I can look back and say, I have no regrets.
And we're joined now by Jolene Letcher, and you've been following Austin basically for the last year and a half or so.
Right.
And he's a young kid to begin with, but he's still young in his development and his career in bodybuilding, right?
Exceptionally young. He is 24, but in this sport, most guys really don't start hitting their peak until probably their early 30s. So
Really?
he's got a decade on a lot of people since he's already in the professional ranks.
So he's in a great position there. And you see stories about bodybuilding and you automatically think you just do of steroids. And there are different levels where you can get away with that, but he competes at a natural level, right?
He is 100% natural, so that means he is polygraphed, urinalysis. He is tested when he competes to be sure it is all diet and exercise. Now there are some federations or competitions where that isn't necessarily the case. Austin though, 100% natural, diet, exercise, and of course iron will.
All right, looking forward to following it.
Right.
Thanks a lot. Jolene Letcher. When we come back, we'll take you to the track where our next local legend is keeping up the family tradition. He's been piling up track titles for more than 20 years.